And so now, let us welcome the biggest name in comedy. Beyondananda alone is 12 letters. Okay? Let us welcome Swami Beyondananda. Swami, how we love you, how we love you.
Hello, Port Townsend. Hello, everybody. Wow, what a crowd, what a crowd. It's great to be here. This could be turned down a little. I hear distortion. It's great to be here. And guess what? We have no choice. Because no matter where we are always here. And it is always now. So who would like to be in the now more? Oh, too late, already done. You want to be in the now, you have to be very, very quick. But I predict that living in the now will be the wave of the future. And time itself will become a thing of the past. I know this because I was a futurist in a past life. Of course, now I spend all of my time in the timeless now. I think they call that Alzheimer's. I'm at the stage where, I don't know, am I in the fifth dimension or the first dementia? We don't know yet. Oh, it's wonderful to be here. And by the way, this whole idea, Fort Worden right here, this is a metaphor for what we are to be doing. We are to get off the battlefield onto the playing field. So here, give yourselves a hand. Because let's face it, looking at the world, but I'll tell you, this is really good because I'm just kind of getting up and out after 4 years of doing Zoom comedy. Comedy without an audience. They have medication for that. But I've been traveling. I just got back from the Ascended Masters Golf Tournament. Now, I hope I'm not offending any golfers, but I find watching golf is boring. To me, watching golf is like listening to bowling on the radio. But the Ascended Masters, that is a great event. This year, Buddha got a wholeness and oneness. They held it in the Himalayas, and as you probably know, there are beings who live up there who are so spiritually evolved that they no longer need to eat food. They exist on breath alone. Did you know that? Somebody got the idea up there to open up the world's first breatharian restaurant. They don't serve any food, but the atmosphere is terrific, right? I had to check this place out for myself. I'm sitting there. I see 3 guys walking by like this. They had clothespins on their noses like this. They were fasting. You won't believe this. One of them is so spiritually evolved, not only doesn't he eat food, he doesn't drink water either. His name is Pierre. This is a very quick audience. Usually it's time release. You left tomorrow for no reason. But meanwhile, back here in this so-called reality, we have a new word, a situation. We have a situation here in the world. In fact, things have gotten so dire, seriously, that people are asking, is this the hand of God at work? Or just a middle finger? No, man, it's getting serious. People are actually talking about the end times. I met a man a few years ago. He was disappointed and sad because the rapture hadn't happened. I said, so the rapture hasn't happened. It's not the end of the world. Now, actually, I've been thinking about this because so many people are talking about end times and so on. I went to the book of Revelations, And you won't believe what it said. A sign that the end times are in hand. It says, and the last trump shall blow. I did not make that up. Now, don't ask me about that individual. I'll just give you my blanket statement. Behind every soul is healed, there is an unhealed soul. And for you light workers out there, your job is not just to heal souls, but to re-soul heals.
Put your sweet lips a little closer.
No, that's too distorted. I think I'm okay. Oh, I'm going to feed forward. Okay. I'm going to step. No, is that good? Am I step? Am I backward enough here? Can I come forward? Okay. Microphone closer. Doesn't that sound too distorted? No. Oh, it sounds distorted. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need louder.
Okay. You like that projection, right? Yeah, that's my Marceau impersonation. Okay. Oh, where was I? Okay, how's this? It's amazing. I hear all of this feedback. I'm getting great feedback from the audience, too. Okay. So we are, and a lot of things going on. People are asking, will there ever be peace in the Middle East? Well, I say first, we have to create peace in the Middle West. We have a deeply divided body politic in this country. Half the people believe the system is broken. The other half believe it's fixed. Can I be blunt? Can I be blunt? We have one political party that sold its soul to the devil. We have another that's just renting theirs. We have been divided into two tribes, the red tribe Republicans, blue tribe Democrats, who spend all of their time arguing about whether it is worse to kill the born or the unborn. Meanwhile, the Commonwealth has been stolen by a very small percentage of the uncommonly wealthy, and the bill has been sent to the not yet born. Yeah. So what we need, people talk about how do we deal with the climate change issue? What we really need is political climate change. Warmer hearts, cooler heads. How's that? In order to heal the body politic and create agency for all of us together, we need to bring left and right, front and center, to face the music and dance together. Yes, go ahead, you can applaud, that's right. To turn the funk into function and leave the junk at the junction. We have to do what the native peoples do. Sit in sacred circle. We need to bring red tribe and blue tribe together to sit in sacred circle and talk until they're purple in the face. Because only as one purple people will the peeps outnumber the perps. Very interesting times we're living in. It has been predicted that a great shift will be taking place. And many people are asking, why is this shift happening to me? Well, shift happens, that's why. The shift has hit the fan. And as a species, it is time for us to shift or get off the pot. Unless you need pot to shift, then stay on the pot. We do have these cannabinoid receptor sites in the brain, all of us, in the part of the brain called the hippocampus. And when the hippocampus is stimulated, we see farce fields and laugh at invisible jokes. Now, to answer your unasked question, yes, I tried it once, but I didn't exhale. And in these challenging times, people are consulting the great mystics on the planet. There are two kinds of mystics. There are the optimists and the pessimists. The pessimists, they're worried. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. The optimists say, no, it just looks that way because we're ascending. Oh, yes, and it's very, very, very important for us to have some kind of a spiritual practice, even if we're not religious, something that connects us with the divine, with the universal oneness. How many people are practicing some form of mindfulness? Anybody? That is very good. I'll tell you why. Because we're inundated with so much information that we are suffering from mindfulness. And we need mindfulness to clear our minds, unless, of course, we use mental floss. 4 out of 5 transcendentists recommend mental floss to prevent truth decay, yes. You can always tell the psychics in the audience they're laughing at the next joke. I'm getting there. Yes, and so I actually went to a week-long silent retreat. It was so quiet, you could hear an opinion drop. My mindfulness teacher gave me the secret of peacefulness and mindfulness. 2 things. Number 1, clear the mind of all thoughts. Number 2, focus on the center of yourself. I did it, and it absolutely worked. I am now thoughtless and self-centered. I have with me today my power animal and spirit guide, Bullwinkle. And I'll tell you why. Because no matter what your problem is, if you channel Bullwinkle to tell people your problems, it sounds funnier. Yeah. So let's say you lost your job and you have no money. Channel Bullwinkle. I just lost my job and I have no money. That's a little funnier, right? I don't know if you can see in the back, but I'm wearing my Musafix tonight. I have a bit of a Musafixation. No, Jesus came to me in a dream, and he asked me to wear this. I said, why? What does it mean? He says, it means, for Christ's sake, lighten up. Because the world is in serious condition, largely because of our conditioning to be serious. Seriously, yeah. Now, we've all heard that laughter is healing. And maybe you know the story about Norman Cousins. He was a writer about 50 years ago, diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, checked into a hotel room with Marx Brothers movies and candid camera reruns, and he got well. And when he healed himself, the medical establishment decided they are going to study the healing power of laughter, which is kind of like, well, it works in practice, but does it work in theory? And when they studied the physiology of laughter, they discovered that when we laugh, it creates these hormones called endorphins, our natural painkillers. Laughing improves our immune function. Laughter lowers the blood pressure. Because when we laugh, it causes our blood vessels to dilate. Better than having them die early. I want mine to die as late as possible. Something else I discovered, laughing burns calories. Yeah, I have a new program, it's called Laugh Your Ass Off. Lose weight and lose weightiness at the same time. Now people ask me, what is your spiritual practice? I am a fundamentalist with the accent on the fun. Huh? Not to be confused with fundamentalism, accent on the mental. Fundamentalists say heaven is above us. The fundamentalists say Heaven is where we make it. So why don't we go for heaven on earth just for the hell of it? Because we are not here to earn God's love, we're here to spend it. This is called supply-side spirituality. Be more supplying and less demanding. That is the secret. Now, as a fundamentalist, I believe that life is a joke. But God is laughing with us, not at us. The Creator is watching the comedy channel. We're what's on. And we are given free choice in life. We get to decide whether or not we laugh. So, you want to be miserable? Go right ahead, whatever makes you happy. But I say, underneath all of the stress and distress and sadness in life, there is a deep well of joy. And every time we let laughter bubble up out of that deep well, we experience deep wellness. But, yes, thank you, that's good. Now, sometimes we forget to laugh. Be truthful. Has anybody gone a day recently without laughing? Irregular hilarity. You need a good laxative every day. Anyone gone a week without laughing? Oh my God, you may be suffering from hemorrhoids. Yeah. Hemorrhoids, that is an enlargement of the onus. Where you feel so much responsibility, the only thing you're ever able to pass is heavy judgment. So it is very important to keep the laugh force going with us. And people also ask me, how do we become more peaceful? Now, this may sound controversial to you, but I have to share it with you. First, if you want to be more peaceful, you have to bless everything. Bless everything. A driver cuts you off, you have to bless that driver. Bless you. Bless you too. Go bless yourself. It works. I tried it the other day. The other driver gave me half of a peace sign. Everybody's trying to be more conscious these days. I really appreciate all of this increase in consciousness. We're from Santa Rosa, California. I am so proud of our hometown because we have been pioneers in so many ways. In Santa Rosa, years ago, we opened up the world's first solar-powered tanning salon. It's outdoors. How many people are shrinking their footprint? Me too. I'm wearing smaller shoes. In fact, Trudy and I are actually thinking about buying a tiny home. And guess what? It's right next door to a miniature golf course. As soon as our microloan comes through, we're going to get it. Now, I'm looking at this group, and I see that this is a clearly enlightened group of individuals. I'm looking at your auras. A few of you had orgasms recently, so they're brighter. Yeah, Dave, I've often asked you, how can you tell if you're enlightened, if somebody is enlightened? The fact is, it's an internal state. However, before enlightenment, do the laundry. After enlightenment, do the laundry, but it's 40% brighter. Now, as enlightened individuals, you probably recognize that each of us already has all of the answers within. It's matching them with the corresponding questions. That is the challenge. I can help. If you have an answerable question for the Swami will have a questionable answer for you. If there is something puzzling you, ask the Swami and have it puzzle both of us. So because we have a big crowd, all we need to do, and I can see everybody, if you have a question, raise your hand, I'll call on you, I'll repeat the question. Don't be afraid to appear foolish. Look at me, I've got bullwinkle around my neck. Okay, so who has a question for the Swami? Yes?
What's your views on sex with old people?
Sex with old people? Well, you're asking, whoops. There you have it. You're asking the Swami a question about sexuality. I was celibate for 14 years. But when I turned 15, I said enough of it. People are living longer, and I think one of the secrets to living longer is having a longer liver. So we do liver elongation exercises. I'm writing a new book called How to Live to be 150 and Never Look a Day over 100. And the secret is so simple that when I tell you, you'll go, of course. Think about it. The secret to a long, long, long life. Postpone your midlife crisis until you're 75. Problem solved. Okay. Who else has a question for the Swami? Yes, over there. Would you consider running for president of the United States? Would I consider running for president of the United States? As my predecessor, Pat Paulson, once said, my first act would be calling for a recount. But we don't really need a new president as much as we need a new precedent. A new precedent. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, where the government does our bidding, not the bidding of the highest bidder. Yeah, I mean we have all of this money flowing to our regulators and legislators and so on, because corporations, hey, they figure, why pay taxes when you can make the direct deposit and eliminate the middleman, right? And get your way that way. So seriously, this is why there needs to be a people's upwising. An upwising. I have a 4-step program, the Great Upwising. Wake up, wise up, grow up, show up. It's a 4-step program guaranteed to work 3 times faster than 12-step. Wake up to the illusion of separation. We, the people, have been hoodwinked by a bunch of winking hoods who are keeping us divided so that we cannot unite to hold our system accountable. Wise up to the power of love and loving coherence. Wise up to see that we need to move past identity issues that keep us separate to the identical issues that we all share. Clean air, clean water, clean food, clean government. We need to grow up from children of God to adults of good and become the best you that you can be, the you that you were meant to be. Grow upward in wisdom. And finally, show up on a new playing field, ready to play a new game, thrival for each and all. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Swami, you are proposing a sane world. You must be crazy. Well, if you look around you, you are looking at the sane asylum. This is the sane asylum. And we have to commit ourselves to this sane asylum to practice sanity and create a sane and sacred center so that we all can gather around the virtues and values that we have in common, and we can actually move past what we have right now and perhaps eliminate the sociopathogens in the body politic. Right. Okay? We need to be radically inclusive, and that means including people we don't agree with. Imagine what that would be like, right? Because, we have the dueling duality in the head, right? We need to leave the dueling duality, the static in the head, for the unity in the heart, this ecstatic in the heart. The more we expand our hearts, the less we're going to need to shrink our heads. Huh? Okay, more questions? Yes, way back there, yes. Shout it out.
What do you think about privilege guilt?
Privilege too? Privileged guilt. Is that privileged guilt? Well, I think guilt at any stage is not a privilege. I think that one of the illnesses of this body politic is what I would call virtue signaling in replacement of virtue. Not the same thing. A lot of what we have out there is really a Hollywood facade that makes people feel better because they're on the right side. But I say there are no sides, only angles. And when we see it from the right angle, we're all on the same side. So as long as we are living in love and in service, there is no reason to feel guilty about everything or anything. Let the past be the past. Let's create a future together rather than living in those, out of these past narratives and past narratives of the victim-villain dance. We don't need to do that anymore. This is the American evolution. This is the evolution. Instead of the revolution that keeps us on the same revolving wheel, of people dominating other people who have not yet had the chance to dominate, giving them a chance to dominate. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And this is understandable. We have been living for 5,000 years under the rule of the lowest common denominator. And the golden rule has been overruled by the rule of gold. The rule of gold rule. Do unto others before they can do unto you. This has left us with a lot of residue to metabolize. And so here is the existential question of our times. Can we undo the do-do that has been done? Or will the done do-do be our undoing? That is where we are right now. And people say, will we make it? Can we do it? I do not make predictions. I don't want to jeopardize my non-profit status. They try to predict the weather. One little butterfly fart and everything changes. The greatest wisdom I have ever heard about predicting the future was by the great philosopher and center fielder Willie Mays, who is being interviewed by the sportscaster Howard Cosell. I will channel that interview for you. We're talking with Willie Mays. Willie, let me ask you this. Will the Giants win the pennant this year, Willie Mays? And Willie Mays said, I don't know, Howard. That's what we're going to be playing this season to find out. So instead of prediction, let's focus on intention. Let's focus on purpose. Let's focus on what we all want to create together on a new playing field rather than fighting what we don't want on the old battlefield. Yep. Okay, I still have several answers left. Another question? Yes? Okay, yes over there, yes. With the mask, yes. Wait, I can't. I have an auditory impairment when people don't speak loud enough. But no, how about yes? Yes, talk right into the mic and then.
Let me get
Yeah.
Come back to me because I can't form my question.
Okay. What was the question now?
She's thinking.
Okay. Well, while you're thinking, I think that's a really good idea. I think if more people did that, we'd be in better shape. So you're an excellent role model for us. Thank you so much. Okay. And you have a question now. You've actually thought of it. Don't lose it. Okay. You still have that question?
There was another one.
Okay. Let's go for the other one. The next question, please. Oh, I see that. Okay. Just shout it out. We don't need the microphone. Okay.
What do you think about social media?
What do I think about social media? Actually, it's anti-social media. Designed to keep us divided and conquered. Designed to keep us revved up in our already existing silo, already existing narrative, already existing echo chamber. That's what social media is designed to do. It's designed to engage you through fear and anger, right? So if you don't like the current programming, turn off your TV and television instead. I television to you, you television to me. And we have healing and functional visions to step into, and that beats what we've been stepping into. Huh? So I think that really the social media dilemma is something that we need to actually put that aside and be in face-to-face reality with real people in this reality. Now people ask me all the time, Swami, do we create our own reality? Well, we used to, but now it's mostly made in China. Okay, who else? I have a few. Yes, right here, this guy. Yes, shout it out.
Swami, I'm really curious as to your opinion, I guess, what you call it, opinion?
Oh, I heard that opinion drop earlier. My opinion, yes.
On whether the world, as we know it, is evolving towards oneness and centeredness, or is it gonna, with the coming of AI and all that kind of thing, are we gonna end up?
Oh, are we going to, again, the question is the world moving toward oneness, or is it moving toward separation and decay and destruction? And the answer is absolutely. I know you didn't like that answer, but I wasn't crazy about the question. So. These things are happening simultaneously. Love is expanding, and the shadow is revealing itself. So all of the, I say the truth shall upset you free. We need to metabolize all of the residue that we've been ignoring, and this shadow stuff needs to come to the surface so that we can address it together in a field of love and a field of functionality, instead of hiding from these terrible perpetrations that have happened in our lifetime that we would prefer that didn't happen. So part of facing reality is actually, bringing together the heart and soul, what I call the sane and sacred center that has been missing without the benefit of religion. I understand why people have their issues with religion. It has been said that spirituality is our connection with the divine. Religion is crowd control. But religion, the word religion comes from religare, which means to bind ourselves with the divine, that is the transcendent, to bind ourselves with other people, and to bind ourselves with the natural world. And we've come undone. When we got rid of religion, we threw the baby Jesus out with the bathwater. So now it's time to recover that spirituality above and beyond all of these religious distinctions that have all of these religions fighting one another. Holy war in a holy land. Holy cow pie, Batman. Talk about oxymoronic. That is oxymoronic. And again, We want to have peace in the Middle East. We have to have peace in the Middle West. Yes? Okay. Now, how many? Oh, yes, you have a question. Yes.
Swami, some say that there are aliens from other worlds among us, and they're mining our natural resources. What do you think?
Aliens among us. Okay, I'll take a poll. How many aliens do we have among us? You'll be asked to show your green card at the door. You know, I'm curious, how many people think we're being visited by beings from other worlds? Huh? Okay. Who thinks we're being experimented on? You know, I tend to agree because, like ourselves, they like to experiment on less evolved life forms. My understanding is they are using us to test their cosmetic. Now, I happen to have recently, during this lockdown, which I do not like calling lockdown, because that's a downer. We were not locked down, folks. We were locked up. Huh. Doesn't that feel better? And even if we didn't achieve herd immunity, we did achieve herd mentality. Okay. No, I decided during the social distancing, I decided I'm going to go the distance and finally take that intergalactic tour I've been putting off. You can only imagine what it's like to go flying through the universe, past the rings of Saturn, past the crack in Uranus. It's in the back, that's why you've not seen it. Straight to the center of the Milky Way. And guess what I found there, at the center of the Milky Way? Chewy nougat. Now you thought it was Three Musketeers, right? No, it's the Milky Way. Now you hear the Snickers. How are we doing on time, by the way? Do you have a timekeeper? Even if we run out of time, we get another shipment tomorrow. No problem. Okay. I want to make sure we have time for the second set. Okay. Okay. More time. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. More questions then before I do my song here. Way back there. Way in the back with blue. Yes. Raise your hand.
What happens after we die?
What happens after we die? Well, I'll tell you something. I was puzzled by this same question. I asked my guru, Hari Cohen Baba, the Garment Center saint. I said, "Oh, garment-centered one, what happens when we make our transition?" He told me a story. He told me a story about two spiritual seekers, we'll call them Abe and Sam, who make a pact. Whichever one of them makes their transition first will contact the other from the next world. Well, after many years, Abe passes away. And Sam is meditating a couple of weeks later, and he hears this faint yet familiar voice. He goes, "Sam, is that you?" The voice says, "Yes, it's me." And he says, "Sam, where are you? What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I get up every morning, make love all morning long. Take a little nap, make love all night long, next day the same thing." And then Abe says, "Wow, it sounds like you're in heaven." Sam says, "No, actually, I'm a bull in Colorado." So if you wanted to be a sacred cowpoke, there you go. Who else? Yes, thank you. How did you know I was Irish? Oh, Swami. Shrin Bigora. Actually, I'm Italian. Beyondananda is Italian. Oh, go ahead.
Since you know all, do animals go to heaven?
Do animals go to heaven? Only good animals go to heaven. No, I mean, I think this is really very important because we need to really appreciate the wisdom that comes from the animal kingdom.
Dolphins are more intelligent than human beings. Here's the proof. They do not run underwater theme parks called Land World. And make humans do stupid pet tricks like catching hamburgers in their mouths. Dogs are natural healers. I did a program called Teach Your Dog to Heal. Every time we come in contact with a friendly dog, the body secretes these hormones called peptides that produce phytochemicals. Okay. One more question. Okay. Oh, yes, over there, back in the back. Yeah.
So since you're talking about this topic, I really need some advice, and I wonder, I'm going to buy a new pet. I'd like to get a pet. Do you think I should get a cat or a dog, and why?
Okay, this is good. She wants to know which kind of pet do you want to get. And you want to get a cat or a dog, and that really depends on whether you want an animal that cares about you or not. Okay, now I got one for you. What do you give a catatonic cat? You give a catatonic catatonic? Okay, that was channeled, not my fault. Okay, another question. Okay, yes.
What do you got left? Deer here, you notice?
I'm telling you, there was one sitting, walked right up to me and wanted to ask me a question. Yeah.
Half the people hate him and half of them love him.
What was this?
Why do half the people hate him and half the people love him?
Why half the people hate them and half the people love them? That's a really good question. That is like what they call a Zen koan, which is a question that is designed to stop the mind. And you absolutely succeeded. You stopped the mind. I got struck by lightning during a brainstorm. Okay, so now I will give you a Zen koan puzzle for you to puzzle on. You solve this, you may get enlightened. How many people, some of you look old enough, how many people remember the great 1980s football player, Refrigerator Perry? Remember him? Okay. Question. When Refrigerator Perry closes his mouth, does his inner light go out? Okay, you can strike. Okay, question? I still have an answer that I'm waiting to give. Okay, yes, over there.
Is there any way we can somehow find enlightenment in our sleep? It's a third of our life ruined if we can't, right?
Oh, and find enlightenment in your dreams?
Sure.
Oh, sure. And finding enlightenment in your dreams. I mean, this is very, very important because in some regards, the entirety of life is a dream that we will wake up from at some point. And so what we need to be is conscious dreamers so that we dream the dream that we want and weave that dream with one another. This is a choice we have in every moment. Do we feed love or do we feed fear? And the good news is love is more powerful than fear. Otherwise we'd be singing, all you need is fear. She fears you, yeah, yeah. None of that. Yes. Is light more powerful than might? Well, it's actually the only power that there is. I mean, it's like light, darkness is the absence of light. And what we need to do is we need to shift our karma from being high-powered to higher-powered. And the higher-powered karma, that is what will uplift humanity, if we can do it. Again, this is our opportunity. This is what we are living life to find out and to discover for ourselves. Now, how many people, seriously, have been praying for peace? Okay, praying for peace in the Middle East. True story. There was a man, this is a number of years ago, in Jerusalem. He lived in Jerusalem. Every day, he would go to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem to pray for peace. Every day, 25 years. And a reporter from the Jerusalem Post finds out about this, and she decides she wants to interview him. But she knows he is very modest, he's very, meek in a way, so she approaches him very gingerly, and she says, "Excuse me, I understand that you've spent every day for the past 25 years going to the Wailing Wall and praying for peace." He goes, "Yes." She says, "And I understand you haven't missed a day." He goes, "No, I haven't." She says, "Tell me, what is it like going to the Wailing Wall every day for 25 years to pray for peace?" He says, "Like talking to a damn wall." So I too have been praying for peace. And I travel on the higher planes. And of course, they lose your baggage on the higher planes, so what, right? Who needs it? I'm sitting on the higher plane, and next to me is somebody who looks very, very, very familiar. Wow, you look familiar. He says, "Yes, I'm George Gershwin." I said, "George Gershwin, the composer." He says, "Yes." I go, "What are you doing now?" He goes, "Decomposing." He had a terrific sense of humor. But you know what? It was disturbing to him. It made him sad and angry that the Palestinians and the Israelis, the Arabs and the Jews are so close. They're so close in language. They're so close in proximity, yet they can't seem to make peace to save their lives. He offered me a song for peace in the Middle East. And I'm going to share with you this song, okay? May it be so. It goes like this. You say salam, and I say shalom. You throw a bomb, I blow up your home. Salam, shalom, we blow up our home. Let's call the old thing off. You say baraka, I say baruka. I spin the dreidel, you toke the hookah. Baruka, baraka, this warfare, it's caca. Let's call the old thing off. And so, if we call the old thing off, we'll all be right. And so, if we are all right, well, there's no need to fight. I eat the kasha, you eat the kibbe. We both dig falafel, but never pork ribby. To kasha, to kibbe, forget the pork ribby. At least there's one thing we agree on. Haven't we had enough? Let's call the old thing off. Oh yeah. Let's call the old thing off. Let's call the old thing off. That's all, folks. Good.